For many of us, taking care of our mental health is an up and down battle, but for one Rochester man, it was a literal journey. Evan Hansen, who I should say is a good friend of mine, walked across the state of Minnesota carrying a canoe to raise awareness and money for mental health. And he just released a book about his journey, his Portage for a Purpose. I sat down with Evan to discuss his new book, Into the Wind.
It still doesn't feel like I'm an author. It still kind of feels like I'm a guy who wrote some pages and then pressed the publish button.
Evan Hansen's new book, Into the Wind, details his trek carrying, or portaging, a canoe over 300 miles across the state.
And so I ended up portaging 100,000 rods from the South Dakota-Minnesota border by Sioux Falls to the Minnesota-Wisconsin border by Winona, Minnesota.
His idea started on a trip with friends to Minnesota's Boundary Waters. As a former Boundary Waters guide, he was very familiar with walking with a canoe.
Showed them what really lightweight canoes can feel like, and one of them said something that stuck with me, and he said, "Man, I feel like I could carry this thing forever." And I had just gotten off the Appalachian Trail, so I thought, I wonder how far I could carry it.
But Evan's future portage wouldn't be without purpose.
During the time when I got the idea to portage a canoe, an oddly long distance for its own sake, I had 3 people from different parts of my life who died by suicide, and I've struggled with mental health myself through anxiety, depression, my own suicidal ideations, but those around me who took their own lives, it really opened my eyes to just how ruthless suicide is and how much it ransacks not only the loved ones close to the person, but the communities as well. And we were at a time when COVID was really rampant and we were all kind of stuck inside, and the most support that people could really show was to comment on people's social media pages and make phone calls. "I'm so sorry for your loss." And after a while, it felt like that wasn't good enough. And I wanted to show the families and the loved ones of those who died by suicide that they were seen, that they were heard, and also being an advocate for those who are currently in the trenches of mental illness.
So, while portaging across southern Minnesota during the month of September 2021, Evan began to write the thoughts and experiences that would later become his book. You can read about his journey stopping from one community to the next, and while part of the book is a catalog of these experiences, he believes it's more than that.
It's written as a memoir, but its true purpose is to serve as a love letter to those who are struggling with mental health, suicidal ideations, and other similar darknesses. So when you're reading it, even if I've never met you, even if I never will meet you, what I did for you, and to help you understand that you are loved, you are not alone, and you are not a burden.
Into the Wind is currently available on Amazon, with 10% of the sales going to the Southeast of Minnesota chapter of the Alliance of Mental Illness. Evan hopes the book will eventually be available in local bookstores. Meteorologist Sean McAday, KIMT News 3.